Presenting the award to Andy Friedhof is Nicholl Fellowship Committee Chair Robin Swycord. Robin has written films including Little Women, Memoirs of a Geisha, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, for which he received an Oscar nomination. Robin also wrote and directed the feature The Jane Austen Book Club and wrote and will direct the upcoming film Wakefield.
I'm so happy that I get to give this award to Andy, who did such a beautiful job with this. And I just want to give you a sense of the difficulty of what he did. Andy lives in Sydney, Australia. He is Australian. He traveled around the United States for 4 months with a friend. He spent a little bit of time in Montana. One of the things that happened was that he saw how wonderful Americans could be, and it didn't jibe with the death penalty for him. And so he wanted to write a film that had as its core a kind of understanding of what it means to take another person's life. And he wrote this in Australia, looking at Google Earth to see the descriptions, to see the towns and be able to describe them. He described a mermaid bar that I had heard about that's in Montana, that was in there, and I had heard about it from my daughter, who had been on a road trip and had gone to some bar that had a swimming pool with mermaids swimming in the back wall of the bar. And he found that on the internet, and he put it in his movie. One of my closest friends is from Montana, and she uses certain kinds of expressions, vernacular slang expressions, I've never heard from anyone else. And that's the way his characters talked, because he looked at documentaries and he listened when he was in Montana. And so he brought all of that wonderful juice home, and he produced a movie that is really going to be extraordinary. So I just want to say, congratulations, Andy.
I think we'll do the picture first.
Right, well.
Yep.
G'day. We don't all look like Hemsworths. I'd like to thank the Academy. That was incredible. Thank you so much to the actors, to Julie and Rodrigo for that. I've never heard my work read out loud, unless you count Microsoft Mic. I'd also like to thank the late Don and Jean Nicholl, the Nicholl Fellowship Committee, for this life-changing honour. I'm extremely humbled to be standing here today, particularly on the 30th anniversary of this prestigious competition. Thanks also to the Nicholl team, Greg, Joan, Emily, and all the others that I've met tonight for your tireless work. I know this week, at times, it's been like herding 5 excited cats, but you've made this an unforgettable experience, and thank you for that. Thank you also to the amazingly talented fellows for this year. I consider myself extremely fortunate to count myself amongst your number, and it's been a privilege to get to know you, and I know you'll have every success in the future. I'd also like to thank my hardworking reps, Varun and Hyro, who are here tonight, and everyone along the way who's taken the time to read my material and offer guidance and support. On the off chance they hear this, I'd like to thank John August and Craig Mason. I consider myself a proud alumnus of Scriptnotes University, and particularly for someone from overseas who doesn't live in this area, obviously. So, to actually have their advice, Umbridge field advice, has been invaluable to me, so I really appreciate that. Lastly, thanks to my friends and family back home in Australia, particularly my parents, who, when I told them a couple of years ago that I was leaving my secure government job as an engineer to pursue a career in screenwriting, managed to hide their panic and horror to an almost convincing degree. And they've been nothing but completely supportive ever since. And most importantly, and strategically last, to my partner, best friend, de facto spouse, Dana, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. Thank you for always seeing the good and the worthwhile in me, even when I sometimes cannot. Thank you all.